It is now or never for Trevor Lawrence. Here we are heading into year 5 of the Trevor experience, and we still can't even tell if he's actually even good. The 27-point comeback to beat the Chargers in the 2022 playoffs feels like ages ago. Trevor is just 10-17 since then, and this past year, he was just 2-8. His stats have never been impressive, and the Jags just fired their coach and general manager. With Brian Thomas's rookie year explosion and adding Travis Hunter, if Trevor doesn't show us that he's that dude this year, he's probably just not a very good NFL quarterback. One of the main areas of his game he struggles is his complete inability to succeed against pressure. According to Warren Sharp, amongst qualifying quarterbacks, when pressured he ranks 36th in EPA, expected points added, 40th in success rate, 43rd in yards per attempt, and 40th in completion rate. When kept clean, no pressure, he's pretty good, but the knock on him has always been get pressure on him and he's cooked. This deserves a deep dive into the film. We'll discover if Trevor is a good quarterback despite his struggles versus pressure. But before we dive deeper to answer that question, I want to thank this week's sponsor, SeatGeek. With the MLB season in full swing and the NFL season just around the corner, I've been hitting Cubbies games here and there, waiting for the NFL season to begin. I love planning out my football trips, whether it's going to a Vikings game in Minnesota, a Hawks game in Seattle. I just hit the Cubs game on 4th of July. Whenever I get tickets, I always use SeatGeek. I love them because of how easy they are to use. You just hop on, the app has already rated the deals for each game based on the best deal for each seat. A green dot means it's a good deal, a red dot means it's a bad deal. It's as easy as that. Green good, red bad, and we're in. Every ticket is backed by their buyer guarantee, and you can use my code Rollins10 to get 10% off your next order at SeatGeek. That's code Rollins10 to get 10% off your next order. While his main overall area of struggle is against pressure, it's his lack of vision which is at the core of all of his problems. There are times where he'll throw directly into coverage, he'll leave clean pockets when he has open receivers, and worst yet, he really struggles with post-snap reads. For example, this is a design throw to the curl route outside that beats cover 4 quarters. When there are 4 deep defenders, you only have 3 underneath, so that's why the Jaguars run this double curl concept. There's only one guy for 2 receivers. You can see Gabe Davis boxing out the curl flat defender to leave Christian Kirk open, and here Trevor's looking right at him, but for some reason, he doesn't throw. You can see the same play here, the cornerback is off far enough. Now it's Kirk boxing out for Davis, Trevor's looking right at the open curl, but again he just struggles to read the field, and for some reason he doesn't take it. There were times like this where he wouldn't throw to open receivers, and then there were other times where he consistently threw to obviously covered receivers, making just objectively egregious decisions. We talked about how in cover 4 there are 4 deep, 3 underneath, while in cover 3 there are 3 deep with 4 underneath. 2 of those defenders play middle zones, hook curl defenders, and the other 2 play outside zones, curl flat defenders. We've also talked before about how against cover 3 zone, a curl or comeback is a great route because a deep third defender is racing backwards to protect his deep third, so it's harder to drive back down underneath against a curl. But that doesn't mean the receiver is always open. If the outside zone defender, the curl flat defender, gets immediate depth to his spot right away, the curl isn't open. This is why you need something underneath him to stretch him out and punish him getting depth. But still, Trevor feels the pressure, it speeds him up, and he just pushes the ball directly into heavy traffic. This is a good pre-snap read. The curl against cover 3 zone is almost always open. But post-snap, watch the curl flat defender get to his landmark immediately. You just can't throw this. Trevor also struggled visioning the leverage of defenders. Leverage is where they're positioned in relation to the receivers. Doug Peterson gave him a lot of pre-snap indicators by putting a tight end or running back outside, and when a cornerback matches up with him, Trevor knows it's very likely zone coverage, because if it was man, you'd have a linebacker one-on-one on him. Here a linebacker is on a receiver, so Trevor knows it's likely zone. Again, it's cover 3 zone with 3 deep defenders, and the Colts are playing a version of cover 3 called cover 3 buzz, where instead of a safety playing the outside zone and the linebacker inside, they switch. Usually defenses play cover 3 buzz to roll the safety down opposite a 3 receiver side because they're worried about deep crossers, and that's exactly what they get. But instead of throwing the dagger route coming open behind the deep cross, this concept is designed to go to the dagger route. Lawrence just chucks this ball up and it's intercepted. In fact, 3 different guys come open on this play, but Lawrence doesn't anticipate the open space, doesn't just hold the ball long enough to read the buzz safety, and yeah, he just doesn't see the field well at all. If vision is his main overarching problem, well, what happens when he gets pressured? Pressure speeds up his footwork and throws off his rhythm. Like here on this critical 3rd and 7 with 4 minutes left, where if they convert, they can basically ice the game. He has this go route from Brian Thomas that would have been a walk-in touchdown, but instead he sails this out route over Christian Kirk's head. If he gets rid of this at the top of his drop like he's supposed to, the concept is timed up so when his back foot hits, that's when he should throw, or it'll be too late. But because he feels the pressure from the interior, he hops outside to avoid it, throwing off the timing and rhythm of the play. His last full game of the season, a 28-23 loss to the Eagles, which sank the Jags at 2-7, showed all his struggles both with vision and against pressure. On 3rd and 3, down 6 with 13 minutes left in the game, remember how if a linebacker is matched on a running back, it indicates man coverage? Well, here the Eagles accidentally mix up their coverage assignments and put safety CJ Gardner-Johnson on receiver Parker Washington. This is a great matchup. But as the route's developing, watch how Trevor drifts away from pressure, so his feet aren't set, so he speeds up when he throws, and it doesn't come out accurately. You can see how he just shies away ever so slightly from the interior pressure, which isn't really even there, and instead of being able to drive the ball to Washington, he more kind of pops it into the air, and it's just not the path to consistent accuracy. Then later in the quarter, now the 2-minute drive has started and they're down 5, but instead of throwing this deep out against man coverage where Washington is stemming straight up the field to create space outside and eventually come open, Trevor leaves a clean pocket and then turns the play into an incompletion. When pressured, he really struggled with when to move and when not to move. He'd either scramble too early or move around in the pocket the instant the ball should be coming out. Now it's 3rd and 10, do or die. Brian Thomas wins leverage inside, so he's gonna break open on the slant, but Trevor throws the way trickier out and up. Thomas is pissed because he's open. He was open a lot and wasn't getting the ball. But watch out from the tight angle, Trevor still has a pretty clean pocket, but is still hopping around. This throws off his rhythm, his accuracy, his base, which is what he draws power from, and jumping makes it harder for your eyes to track receivers, so you're gonna miss more potential completions. After a miracle 4th down conversion, the Jags are still down 5 and are on the Eagles 13 now, but ran this play too often, where it's really just an I'm better than you play, jump ball to the running back, ISO'd on a linebacker. I hate this play call, I hate the decision. Jags lose 4-13. The play calling deserves a whole nother episode. Rest in peace, Doug Peterson. I think he played a major part in Trevor's struggles. The Jags were not on the same page, they were disjointed in general. And I'll give you an example. They're losing 16-13 here. There's less than 2 minutes left and they're starting the drive on their own 2 on 1st and 10. They have the bounce concept here with a seam and Omaha go. But when Trevor takes his drop, there's only one underneath route and it's not open. He has nowhere to throw. So he gets sacked, safety, and the Jags lose 18-13. What I don't get is Trevor's progression. He's looking to his left right out of the gate, only at deeper routes while he's sitting in his own end zone. The Jaguars are just a disaster, and Trevor Lawrence is at the front of it all. He is heading into year 5 as the Jaguars' starting quarterback, and typically when you're still trying to figure out if a quarterback is good this late into his career, usually it's a no. He's always struggled against pressure, and today we found out why. Once the play starts, his vision goes out the window, even in clean pockets, and then when you add in just a little pressure to the equation, everything speeds up a tick, and he really starts to struggle. Hopefully, Liam Cohen can clean up the post-snap process and streamline the Jags' offensive play calling, because last year, it was a nightmare. Trevor has flashed in the past, and we do know he has the talent. Hell, the Jags were in the playoffs. They won that big game just a few years ago. But Trevor has since not looked good. Yet, I still keep coming back to it. There is that talent, and there is actual past production. If Cohen can reach back into the past, pull that success to the present, Trevor Lawrence will still be the future.